One of the great mercies we can give that oftentimes we just nowadays just set aside because we think we might be considered foolish or duped is giving the benefit of the doubt. We used to say that a lot as a people, and we don't do that anymore in a substantial way. And each and every day, when you hear something about someone, to not rush to the empowering negative, and it's empowering only to you. It's not empowering to God. It's not empowering to the community around you. It's just empowering to you because you're having control of that moment to be negative about somebody. When you actually move to the position of giving the benefit of the doubt, having mercy, and saying, I don't understand all that is causing that person to make this decision, but I'm going to pray for them. How powerful that is. That is an active work of mercy in the moment by, that's not clergy, it's religious, it's laity who actively work that in society. So how would Portland be transformed? I think St. John Paul II speaks of mercy so beautifully as he connects to St. Faustina and has mercy upon his own attacker, as we oftentimes reflect. And that mercy is enormous because not only does it affect that young man's life who felt so lost and so angry to try and take St. John Paul II's life, but when St. John Paul pours that mercy out to him, he then affects all who are watching, the witnessing of that. And so I think when we start to see change happening locally, and again, your sphere of influence, something that I speak quite a bit about in the work that I do in ministry, when you affect your sphere of influence, that is your direct family, your office. You have the ability to expand that because your sacrament of baptism is efficacious. The definition of that, it's to have effect. Well, if you're not having effect, then you are essentially sitting on your treasure. As we sit here and ask about your grace to give us the treasure that you have to support this ministry, also recognizing that you have an ability within you to activate mercy because of your baptism. So, I think that's so empowering when we begin to reveal the truth. That people then become more energized, and it begins a momentum of the Holy Spirit. And, I think both St. Faustina and St. John Paul II were recognized by Pope Benedict as apostles of faith. They are actually working on behalf of the sender, which is Christ. So Christ just pours out mercy. He does that on the cross. We're going to celebrate that beautifully this Holy Week and on Good Friday to see that substantially. And for me as a deacon, as ordained minister, to prostrate myself on the altar, to recognize the commitment that is asked of each one of us to present mercy of Christ in this world. Mercy is far more powerful than any weapon we can think of.